Have you ever really stopped to think about a principle that's, well, as old as time itself? I'm talking about a fundamental law that's just woven into the very fabric of nature. It governs everything, from the tiniest seed all the way up to the entire cosmos. Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to explore. We're going to dive into the law of rest. So let's start this off with a pretty big question. What do you think is the one law that governs all work and all creation? Think about that for a second. It's a question that's really worth pausing on because the answer, well, it reveals a pattern that's absolutely essential to life itself. Well, the answer really starts with something simple, something we can all see, and that is all of nature moves in cycles, right? You see it every single day with the sun rising and setting. You see it in the tides, the ebb and flow, and of course, the turning of the seasons. It's like this universal rhythm, this constant pulse that just dictates how everything flows. And if you look at every single one of these cycles, they all have a period of movement, a time for activity, for growth, for creation. Think about planting in the spring or just the work we do with our minds and our bodies. But for every bit of movement, there's always its necessary counterpart, isn't there? A time for stillness. This is the other half of the whole cycle. It's that quiet of winter, that essential pause that just has to follow every effort. Okay, so this brings us right to the heart of it, the definition. The law of rest says that every cycle of movement needs to be punctuated by a period where work or strenuous activity stops. And that word punctuated is really interesting, isn't it? It suggests a deliberate, meaningful pause, not just, running out of steam. So, why is this pause, this ceasing of activity, so absolutely crucial? Well, it's because in that stillness, three really critical things happen. First, it allows for rejuvenation, getting our energy back. It's also the time for healing, when our bodies and our minds get a chance to repair themselves. And finally, it's where we recover our strength, which makes sure we're actually ready for that next cycle of movement. Now, this principle, it's an ancient one. Probably the most famous illustration comes from the book of Genesis. The story goes that after 6 days of creation, on the seventh day, God rested. And not only that, but blessed and sanctified that day. See, this frames rest as something way more than just an afterthought. It's presented as this sacred, totally intentional part of the creative process itself. And that really brings up a crucial question for us, doesn't it? Is rest just about being tired? Is it something we only do when we're completely exhausted and we just can't go on? I mean, that example we just looked at, it really suggests there's a much, much deeper principle at play. And here's where we see a really fascinating distinction. You see, for us as creatures, rest is often just a reaction, right? It's a response to exhaustion, a physical need we have to meet. But the principle shown in the story is something else entirely. It's not about being forced to recover. It's about a deliberate, principled choice to punctuate labor with stillness. So this kind of rest, it exists completely independent of need. So what are we really getting at here? What's the big takeaway? It's this. Rest is not just the absence of work. I think we all tend to think of it that way, like it's just empty time, a void between the important stuff, the productive stuff. But this law completely reframes that whole way of thinking. Instead, rest is the natural completion of work. Think about it. It's the final essential step in any cycle of effort. It's kind of like how a piece of music isn't just the notes, it's also the silence between them that gives it shape. In the same way, our work finds its meaning. It's made whole by the rest that comes after. So it's not an interruption of your work, it's the fulfillment of it. If this video was helpful to you, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm get these ideas out to others. Thanks so much for watching this Principles University presentation, and we'll see you in the next video.